Assalamu alaikum. Coming up to the assignment number 4. Uh, First of all, explaining the environmental setup. Remix. Remix is the IDE, online IDE available, is a browser-based IDE in which the contracts are written. This is the basic interface in which you have a workspace. You can create file folders, guest, or upload your files from your PC, and these are all the file explorer. This is the compiler, then you can here deploy. Now coming up to this is the assignment contract I have created, and to do this you have to deploy this contract over the network, over the mainnet, over the Robson test network, or anywhere else. You just need a metamask wallet. I've currently configured it to the Robson test network, in which here it is. There's my account, and it shows that it is connected. I have this much Ethereum available in my wallet to perform my transactions, and I have linked I will link this account to the current contract when I'll be deploying it. Now coming to the contract. Now I've finalized the environmental setup. Now coming to the basic syntax. The syntax here is similar to the C++ OOP languages, where the class classifier is changed to the contract, in which you can use the contract keyword and then the name to create any contract, and inside the contract you can declare the private numbers and the different constructor and different functions of different classifiers and different properties. Now here you just to declare a function, you just write function and then the name and then the variable. Other than that, you can, for getting a value, you just write a view parameter, and in this I will just explain later what view and pure functions are, and you just return this by return any function, any private member of the function of the contract. And this is just the basic syntax. I've just written it and I've compiled it, and it works fine. There's no error. Now coming up to the first simple smart contract, I've explained the simple smart contract. Now explaining the commits. Commits are just made like like the comment in C++, C Sharp, or any other language with two slashes. Now coming up to the variables and variable scopes. In this, similar to the other languages, you define the scope of a variable. Like I have created an address, the owner address, to be public. So anyone outside this contract can call and can, if I have just deployed this function and it is owner, it is accessible. Like this address would be accessible outside the contract when it is being called from outside the contract's scope. Now coming up to the set different. Now I have explained the scope, and the public functions are basically, you can just private functions, you just have to call it inside the uh, contract. Like I've made this function private and I'm calling in the constructor, but this instance is not available for anyone outside the contract to interact with this using this set current time function. Now after explaining the scopes, come to operator and loops. I have used if conditions and loops, in which I have used some operators. For in this function, I'm just checking that is the question number, like question number 1, 2, is present inside the assignment. So I'm just passing the question number, and the function will return me a boolean value based on true or false. So here, what I will do is I will just pass. I will just iterate over the question numbers list, and it will check every index against the qnum parameter that I have passed using the equal to operator, and it will return true if it founds a match and return false if it doesn't. This is how you can iterate over anything using for loops. The syntax is quite same as you use in C++ or Java, etc. Now coming to the strings and arrays. Now strings and arrays. I have created string arrays, I have created question number arrays, I have created simple string variables, and coming to the functions which are which consumes gas are the functions which require some, you can say, calculation or some work. Like this assigns the name to the assignment name, right? So these are the functions that I'm assigning a string and passing a string, and here I'm returning a string. I'm returning a string array. I'm returning a unit array like question numbers and questions. This is a string array. This is a unit array. For the memory, coming to the memory classifier, the memory we were written here is direct means that it currently copies the questions array inside the into a memory, not into the, as contact has some memory spaces like stored concept and a memory concept. It will just copy a string array into the memory concept and return it. It will not use the stored concept. Similarly to the memory here unit array. Now this all returns unit, this all returns date and etc. Strings arrays you can just declare it like this, and just you can add it using the push button, and you can pop it using, you can just provide these questions and you can use dot pop, and uh, it will delete that element from the array. I have not used pop here, but it can be done over here after that. So coming up to the string and array special variables. Coming to the special variables, it has some special variables like this. Time is equals to now. Now is a current time stamp. Now returns the current time stamp which is stored in the time, and I am using my date time util library, as I have imported my date time util library, which is stored in the same, which is placed inside the same folder, and I have downloaded it from the internet to just use it to just convert the current timestamp to the days, to the current date basically. So I'm using this library by importing it and then using it inside my function and storing it in a day variable, month variable, and a year variable. Similarly, the special variables are done. Coming to the functions, I've explained the functions. Now coming to the view pure and cryptographic functions. Now view functions, as you can see, these are all view functions. But what this function does is this cannot change the state of a contract member. Like they cannot change like days equals like the public member, like they cannot change like days equals to something month. They just read it and returns it to the user. And this is the view function. They present it out to the user. I'll be showing it when I deploy it. Now, these are view functions. Coming to the pure function. Pure function does not read or write any data member of a contract. It just operate on certain values, like the variables it gets as parameters, operate on them, do something calculations, and return a variable. They cannot read or write any state of the contract, to change any state of the contract. So these are all pure functions. Now coming to the cryptographic functions. Cryptographic functions are the functions built in provided by the solidity, in which you just like this, I've used it case act 256, in which you just provide a string and it will return a hash. It will hash this and return a cryptographic hash to the user, but whatever string you just enter. These are all cryptographic functions, and I have uh, used them, and I've explained the library and coming to the error handling. Library was just at I just imported the datetime util.sol. You can import different libraries present on internet, download them, use them, and these are all libraries. You can use them like using the import variable and then giving the path. Coming up to the error handling, I've done it over here. Like, to each transaction on the blockchain, to make that it is a valid transaction, you have to put in some conditions. Like for question number addition, there shouldn't be a question number below like -1, -2. So I have placed a condition. If it doesn't meet it, I have used the revert keyword. The revert keyword reverts the transaction, and transaction does not get to be successful, and the contract gets back to the last original state, last stable state. And revert rejects the current transaction, and it does not happen. This is how error handling is done inside the assignment. Now, in order to compile and deploy it, this was the file explorer. Coming to the compiler, here you can select any compiler. I have used the 0.4.25 as I've gone through it. You can compile it using assignment swap. You can see the compiling. These are just warnings. There are no errors. Now coming to the deploy, this is already deployed. Let's delete it, and here you can see set some gas limit. Here I have used injected web3. You can see my Robston 3 network is connected, and metamask is also connected, and here the current account is same as this, and they are being depicted over here. Now as soon as I hit the deploy button, it will create a contract. Now this is the gas state. I'll confirm it, and creation. The now the contract is being created. Let's wait a bit. Meanwhile, I want to add something like I've used 0.4.25, and there are some syntaxes that 0.6.25 is not compatible with. So I was more comfortable with 0.4.25, so I've used it. It's taking a bit of time. Yes, the transaction is confirmed. Let's view it over the internet. Yes, successes. This is now the contract address. This is the contract address, and you can see that the transaction has, and 52 seconds ago the transaction was created, and it was the account that it was this account that was used to create uh, this you can say contract. Now coming to the image ID, here you can see that I have an instance, and I can use all these functions. Let's try. Let's add something. What is blockchain? Sorry, it's blockchain. I'll add question. Transaction recent. MetaMask opens up. Here I confirm. Adding that, like this URL, it can be accessed from anywhere over the internet, and you can see the contracts. Like the transaction is created. You can see here the status is true, the transaction hash from to the gas use, the transaction cost, the hash, the input, the decoded input. Now let's go to the contract center. Here you can see I guess I've entered some wrong contract to I think some age limits is not working well over here. Here you can see that the contract that the function at question was called, and now we can search the questions like v questions, and you can say where is script. We I can call the owner, it will return me the address of the owners. Now let us set the name of the assignment is assignment 4. Set name. Because I'm using the remix ID, this metamask pops up always. But if I use some other like web3 from any other source, so it doesn't pop up every time and just happens. What I can do is I can provide my private key over there. Let's wait. And it was not the correct contract. It was the correct contract. 04BB contract creation. Now, clicking on this opens up the contract. You can see this is that the transaction has been included and will be reflected in a short while. And let's open up this. You can see like 1 minute ago I used a set name variable, and this URL can be accessed everywhere from the world, and you can see these transactions over here. Similarly, I've did this, I get name, this will just return over here. If you want to choose a JSON file, and it will return like this JSON will be returned, in which the string assignment 4 will be returned. Similarly, if I use a cryptographic function and I provide it like something hello, it will just return me a hash. You can see there's a hash related to the word hello. This is a cryptographic function. So as I added a question, let's see that question number 1 is available, false. Question number 2 is available, false. Right. Now add questions. Basically that was some wrong procedure. I had to use this function. What is crypto? Graphic. And here you can see question number 1. Transact. So metamask pops up. Confirm. Spending. So the last contract that I will just so it's taking some time. Now as my recording was stopped, I have added what is cryptography over here, and I have few questions, and I have seen some JSON over here, like what is cryptography, coded output, what is blockchain reference. These are all the I've used the date function and return 6. That means the 6th July, the current date. I've used the hash functions, hello. I've used the percentage functions, returns the arrows somewhat. Answer is wrong because of the variables used, like it was the moment it should be float. And this was all about the assignment, and these were all the functions deployed at Robson test network, which can be seen anywhere using this link. This was all about assignment. Thank you.